1. Matt Serra vs. Georges St. Pierre. The night the king fell, April 7, 2007, a night that shook the entire sport. Georges St. Pierre was the future of MMA's disciplined, dominant, and laser-focused. The champion everyone thought was untouchable. Then came Matt Serra, a scrappy underdog, a journeyman, a man who had clawed his way back into the UFC through The Ultimate Fighter. No one gave him a chance. Not the media, not the fans, not even the oddsmakers. Serra was a 12-1 underdog, the kind of number reserved for miracles, not wins. But miracles happen. In the first round, Serra landed a right hand that shook GSP's world. The champ never recovered. Serra swarmed, throwing bombs until the referee stepped in. In just 3 minutes, the biggest upset in UFC history was complete. The man everyone laughed at became the man who dethroned a legend. That night, Matt Serra didn't just shock the world, he rewrote the possibilities of MMA forever. 2. Holly Holm vs. Ronda Rousey. The kick that ended the myth. Ronda Rousey wasn't just a fighter, she was a phenomenon. 12 wins, 12 finishes. The face of the sport, the woman who seemed beyond defeat, and across the cage stood Holly Holm, quiet, polite, and, to most fans, irrelevant. But beneath that calm exterior was a sniper, a lifetime of boxing experience, and a game plan built for perfection. From the opening bell, Holm exposed Rousey's limitations. Angles, footwork, precision. Every wild punch Ronda threw missed by inches. Every exchange ended with Holm landing clean. Then came the second round. A feint, a pivot, and the head kick heard around the world. Ronda dropped face first. Her aura shattered before she hit the mat. That one kick didn't just end a fight, it ended an era. Holly Holm didn't just win gold. She slayed the invincible queen and reminded the world that hype doesn't survive technique. 3. Juliana Pidao vs. Amanda Nunes. The lioness humbled Amanda Nunes was a monster. 2. Division champion, destroyer of legends. Cyborg, Rousey, Holm, Tate, all crushed. So when Juliana Pidao, a fighter who'd spent years in the shadows, called her out, everyone laughed. Pidao didn't have power, speed, or hype. What she had was belief. In December 2021, she stepped into the octagon and went straight at Nunes. No fear, no respect. When Nunes unloaded her bombs, Pidao kept walking forward, eating shots, firing back. And then, impossibly, she broke the lioness. Pidao dragged her down and submitted her in the second round. The crowd was stunned. Amanda looked lost. And Juliana Pidao, the ultimate underdog, had pulled off one of the biggest shocks in UFC history. It wasn't luck. It was grit. Pure, stubborn, fearless grit. 4. TJ Dillashaw vs. Renan Barão. The day the monster fell, Renan Barão was untouchable. 32 straight wins, dominating everyone. Fans were already calling him the next Jose Aldo. Then came TJ Dillashaw, a late replacement, an afterthought. Nobody expected much. But from the opening bell, it was clear something special was happening. Dillashaw danced around Barão, landing combinations from angles no one could predict. His footwork was lightning, his speed unrelenting. By round 5, Barão's aura was gone. Dillashaw landed a head kick, followed by a barrage of punches. And the unthinkable became reality. The king had fallen. That fight didn't just crown a new champion, it changed how fighters approached the game. Movement, creativity, innovation. Dillashaw didn't just win, he evolved the sport. 5. Rashad Evans vs. Chuck Liddell. The fall of an icon. Chuck Liddell wasn't just a fighter, he was the face of the UFC, the Iceman, the knockout king, the fan favorite who ruled light heavyweight with iron fists and ice-cold composure. But time waits for no one. When he faced Rashad Evans in 2008, everyone thought it was another highlight reel for Chuck. Rashad was talented, but not tested at this level. Then, out of nowhere, came one of the most vicious right hands in UFC history. Evans ducked, countered, and erased Liddell with a single punch. Chuck hit the mat motionless. The crowd gasped. An era ended in 1 second of violence. That win launched Rashad into superstardom and marked the night the Iceman's reign finally melted away. 6. Michael Bisping vs. Luke Rockhold. The short notice miracle. Michael Bisping had waited 10 years for a title shot. 10 years of heartbreak, losses, and being the nearly man of the UFC. When Chris Weidman pulled out of UFC 199, Bisping got the call, 2 weeks notice, no training camp, against the same man who dominated him before. Luke Rockhold laughed at him. Everyone laughed with him. But Bisping had something Rockhold didn't hunger. In the first round, Rockhold dropped his hands, confident, cocky. Bisping landed a counter left hook that detonated like TNT. Rockhold crumbled. The arena exploded. Michael Bisping, the one-eyed underdog, became world champion in the greatest redemption story in UFC history. It was more than an upset. It was the payoff for a decade of defiance. 7. Jamahal Hill vs. Glover Teixeira. The unlikely champion in early 2023, the light heavyweight division was chaos. Vacated belts, canceled fights. Nobody expected Jamahal Hill, an unranked contender just years removed from regional circuits, to be fighting for gold. Across from him stood Glover Teixeira, a 43-year-old legend with heart, grit, and a storybook title run of his own. But youth prevailed that night. Hill didn't just win, he dominated. He outstruck Glover for 5 rounds, painting his face crimson while refusing to back down from the veteran's pressure. When the final horn sounded, Hill broke down in tears, a man who had gone from overlooked prospect to undisputed champion in less than 5 years. It was a passing of the torch, but not a gentle one. It was an explosion, proof that the next generation was ready, whether the legends liked it or not. 8. Quinton Rampage Jackson vs. Chuck Liddell, the UFC's earthquake. In 2007, Chuck Liddell was the most popular fighter on earth. He had the mohawk, the knockouts, and the aura of invincibility. But standing across from him was a man who'd already beaten him once, Quinton Rampage Jackson. Fans thought the rematch would be different. Chuck was older, wiser, the UFC's golden boy. But Rampage had other plans. In round 1, he timed Liddell's signature overhand right with a thunderous counter hook. Chuck went down instantly. The crowd was stunned. The Iceman, their hero, was out cold. Rampage didn't just win the title that night. He shocked the American audience, reminding them that stars don't stay bright forever. The knockout marked the end of an era and the beginning of the global explosion of MMA. Oyutaro upsets are the heartbeat of MMA. They're the moments that remind nothing is guaranteed. That on any night, anyone can rise from nobody to champion. From Serra to Pino, Holm to Hill, these fights didn't just change careers. They changed the sport. Because in MMA, legends are born the same way they fall, with one punch, one kick, one perfect moment. If you loved these shocking title twists, hit that like button, or you might just find yourself next in line for a Matt Serra right hand.